Hello, I'm Raph. I'm playing a Warforged Gloomforged named Styx. He is a Paladin and has been recently reawakened and is learning about the world around him with some new friends that he's just met.
Hey everyone, I'm Jared. I'm playing the character of Luther. He's a Dhampir. He is a fighter that specializes in firearms, a bit of an investigator, and I am the great uncle of Grinner.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I'm playing Tithla, the Goblin Ranger. She is a wonderful hunter and medical genius.
Hi, I'm Haz. I'm playing Theodore, the Satyr Druid, who's a kind of a charismatic Druid who's unwillingly taken Tithla under his wing as she's followed him through the forest for the past few months.
Hi, my name is Josh. I am from the RollTogether RPG stream, and I will be playing Killian Maxwell, a half-elf warlock who has come to Barovia. He was with the party previously but has lost them and has joined up with the Tempest Guild on their adventures.
G'day, I'm Tom. I'm playing Jonor, the Aasimar wizard. He is on the pursuit of good and evil, finding out the best and worst in this world, and he's doing that with a little bit of naivety and optimism.
And I'm Owen, the Dungeon Master of our Curse of Strahd campaign. A warning, gentle viewer. Curse of Strahd is a horror-themed Dungeons & Dragons campaign, which means you may hear adult language or adult themes throughout this episode. Hello everybody, welcome to our Curse of Strahd campaign. It is wonderful to see all of your gorgeous faces once again. We are back, we are ready to play more horror-themed Dungeons & Dragons. Thank you everybody who joined us for our Easter special, Blinsky's Garden, last week. We had yet another Blinsky Toy Shop special, and I think now we're kind of locked into doing them for every major event that comes our way for the rest of time. Or at least until the end of the campaign. I always have a lot of fun with them. I get to throw out a whole bunch of 90s toys as D&D monsters, and it's funny, I did a big update of the random roll table, but we ended up not using the random roll table as much this time, so that's going to be sitting there waiting for our next special, which I'm very excited about. We do have a couple of fun announcements to share. The first one is actually a celebration of one of our players here. I don't know how many of you are aware of this, but you're actually in the company of the second place Catan Brisbane Championships. Tom, who over the weekend defeated 40 people or like 39 people to become like the second best Catan player in Southeast Queensland.
Yeah, tied second.
Tied second
all the way through. Yeah,
how did it tie? Was it like a, or is it just you got equal points?
10,
yeah,
equal points at the end.
Yeah.
So tied with third. Which way did you tie? You tie up or tie down?
Well,
Tom loves being tied up, so.
I got 9 points. So did someone else. Someone else won with 10.
Okay, right.
And we just decided to split it even there.
Obviously, such a feat is worthy of an inspiration. Please enjoy an inspiration, a real inspiration.
Thank you, very
not just for tonight. You can spend it whenever you need. That is a free inspiration for your second place. If you'd gotten first, it would have been something even better. But we'll just have to leave that for the next year when you get to compete again. This time probably against Haz and I, because we're not letting you keep that crown. I don't know about you, Haz, but I'm gunning for that crown next year.
No, but you know how I feel about Catan, and it's not positive.
Wow. What about Scythe? Would you do a Scythe championship with me?
I did a Scythe.
Hey, there we go. That was easy.
Catan, my wife beat me once, and I'd only made one single road, and at that point I tantrumed my way to saying I'd never play it again, and I've stuck to that ever since.
I have a new life goal, and it's to make you break that oath and therefore your honor. that's it.
I'm a petty man, and I'll stick to this. And hills I'll die on.
It meant a lot.
It'd mean a lot to him. It's Tom's birthday coming up, and there's nothing that would make him a happier chappy than you playing Catan on his birthday.
You really want to throw a nice June day for that?
I don't know. It depends who's playing the Bene Gesserit.
You?
Okay, then I'm in. Let's go. Sorry, Tom. Sorry, Tom. So obviously, massive congratulations to Tom for your incredible achievement.
Thank you.
The only other fun announcement I have to share is that our new Avatar Legends campaign has begun. We are well and truly in the thick of things now. The Legacy of Kyoshi, which takes place after the 2 Kyoshi novels, Rise of Kyoshi and Shadow of Kyoshi. We had our Session 0 the week before last. We had our Session 1 last week. We will be continuing with our Session 2 this week with a brand new character joining us for a number of sessions. So the artwork is all done. I finished the artwork today. I just need them to pick a name, and then I can announce their character. So stay tuned. They have it down to I think a handful of names. When they have picked one, I will share the character and the name and the playbook that they have chosen. But that is very, very exciting. I cannot wait to reveal that. I'm pretty stoked with their character art. I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of the Avatar, kind of like the style of the Avatar characters in terms of the drawing. And each one I do, I'll get a bit better. And this one I think is my best one so far. That was pretty much all the fun announcements I have to share. Did we have any other fun things anyone else wanted to share? Josh, how are the RollTogether streams coming along? Is there a campaign coming up that we can get people really excited for? Is there a campaign currently on its way through that people should be checking out?
Yes, definitely. You have to excuse me. It's literally just started a thunderstorm outside, which is very strange,
but very appropriate thematically for Curse of Strahd.
It was really sunny a minute ago.
You'd be pleased to know we can't hear it.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything yet.
I've been muted most of the time, but it's so powerful so loud that it's coming through my headphones, which is why I've got one off. But yeah, so if I cut out all of a sudden, it's because the thunder has caused me to lose power. Anyway, RollTogether RPG, we've got a campaign going on at the moment that's set in Faerun, in the desert lands, and they're doing something over there, and we've got a new long-running campaign starting soon, which will be the second one that we've ever run, which will be DM'd by me in the
Homebrew
summer.
5th edition?
Homebrew 5th edition, yes.
Awesome.
So
very,
come and check that out. There'll be news, socials and all that stuff. It will all be on there, and Patreon.
And if you have any guest spots, I can think of one person who loves to be a player but never gets to be.
I do need to grab you at some point and bring you over.
Yeah, I'm up for that. That's very exciting. We will definitely.
What time do you guys normally go live? Obviously, I think there's so many different people that listen to this podcast and stream. What's your time zone?
Go for all the time zones.
I don't know about all the time zones, but we go live at 6 p.m. UK time, which at the minute is BST. So, I mean, it's
minute. Does it change?
Sometimes it's GMT, sometimes it's BDT.
BST. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
I thought it was
DMT. Nice.
There's British Daylight Savings Time too. So Australia we have like AEST and AEDT. So I mean, you can jump off your high horse, Raph. We're not better than the UK.
No, I'm just in Queensland doing my thing.
I know. Well, Queensland's better.
There's a lot of things I could say, but I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm not going to.
That's fair. We actually there was a census, obviously, with the passing of the Queen, whether we should change our state name to Kingsland, but we decided to stick with Queensland.
I missed that somehow.
It's because it didn't happen, mate. It's definitely a joke.
Yeah, and hook, line, and sinker.
Charlie's not getting any names out of us.
That's very fair. We will have a link in the comment section below and in the comments in the description, in the episode description, to take you over to RollTogether. Not for the public census to get everyone to switch the name of the state over, but in fact the links to the RollTogether RPG community so that you can go and check out that new campaign when it drops in summer. That is obviously Northern Hemisphere summer. For the rest of you legends in the Southern Hemisphere, that's going to be our winter, just so that you get because we have left summer and a few people are going to be sitting there going like, I don't know if I can wait that long. That's a long time to be announcing this in advance. It's suspicious how organized you are with like 9 months of notice. That's the only...
Everything that we do is pre-recorded, and we actually started the long-running campaign pre-records about 2 months ago.
Did you really?
So, yeah. What I've done is I've done individual one-on-ones of each of the characters so we can actually explore their backstories. And then, so they'll go live, and then it's like a drop-in, drop-out system. So I've got like 9 players, and then they get like a job board that they get to pick missions that they want to go on, and then each individual groups are going to go off and do their own things and all that sort of stuff.
Right, that's really cool. That's really, really cool. If you needed yet another reason to go and check out RollTogether RPG, there it is right there. A really, really cool way of exploring character backstory as actual content, like rather than kind of like having it suddenly appear halfway through the session. I am your long lost uncle, Marcus. Yeah, check your notes. I am there. The DM added me last night.
It'll never get used.
Yeah, exactly.
Marcus dies in the next game.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. Any other fun news for anyone else to share? I think I can see. No, looks like we're all ready to play some Curse of Strahd. Well, then I think we should jump straight back in. I'll do our recap. We'll jump all in. That is all the fun things to share. Obviously, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. This will all be a bit confusing, but hopefully the backstory will get you up to speed with our 56th episode, which is tonight. Our series has been following the adventures of the Tempest Adventuring Guild. Theo, Luther, Jonor, Grinner, Tithla, and newcomer Killian, an adventurer from a distant land. Having become trapped within the realm of Barovia while searching for some missing adventurers, the team have been travelling west in search of an escape. Seeking respite and healing at the Abbey of St. Markovia, the team have now been embroiled in a larger plot by the Abbot, a plot which requires the trade of Irina to Strahd in exchange for escape from Barovia. Travelling to Vallaki in the dead of night, Theo and the Abbot were able to interrupt a ghostly intruder from taking Irina into the mists. This chilling encounter helped to convince Irina to agree to the plan, and the trio decided to wait out the night before attempting to return to the Abbey. Meanwhile, Grinner headed off for a walk to clear his head, disappearing without a trace into the night. Unable to locate any signs or tracks left behind, the team had been forced to carry on without their companion for the time being. With Theo and Irina arriving at the Abbey the following morning, the Abbot requested the group search the basement armory, fearing some form of retaliation from either Strahd or Sergei for stealing away Irina. Exploring the cellar, the team did locate many weapons and armor, as well as a strange Warforged-looking figure. Jonor, sensing some strange magic at work, offered the figure a soul coin, and with a start, the creature awoke, introducing itself as Styx and offering to assist the party in return for providing him with power once more. Heading back upstairs, the Abbot supervised the fortification and arming of the mongrel folk, briefly being fooled into believing Styx was a different construct the party had brought with them. As the fortifications were being finalized, Jonor spotted a figure making his way down the road toward the Abbey, clearly injured and constantly checking behind him. The figure was revealed to be Adrian Martikov, eldest son of Davian Martikov of the Wizard of Wine's vineyard. Adrian revealed the winery had been attacked during the night and that he had been sent to find the party to request their help by his father. Just as he was explaining this, a sudden screech interrupted his story, and the party watched on as a dark shape dropped from the sky and slammed into the nearby road, throwing up a spray of dirt and gravel with the impact. With the Abbey now under attack from strange vine-encased statues, the team leapt into action. Styx, Theo and Luther rushing to the front lines, while Tithla, Jonor and Killian provided support from inside the walls. Destroying the creatures one by one, it was revealed a Druid was responsible for animating them, and while the team were able to knock him out, Styx was also briefly taken out of action. With the attack now over, the team bound the Druid to prevent further danger and spoke to Adrian about the situation at the vineyard. We left off last session as Jonor had begun investigating a strange blood-red seed covered in vines that the Druid had been carrying. And we are going to jump straight back in. Jonor, you had been poring through the Druid's belongings, making sure that you had removed a gemstone that clearly was some sort of spellcasting focus. I believe Tithla now has that in her hands and was investigating that at the end of the last session, while Jonor is currently looking over this strange blood-red seed. You can see, Jonor, the last of this faint, almost like crimson glow is beginning to die away. The seed lit from within by this light, now starting to dissipate as you hold it aloft and examine it. Did you want to make... Oh, yeah, no, you go. I pass over to you.
The first thing to do, seeing this thing in an inch of arcanic life fading away from it, just, Arcana check. I want to figure out what this thing was doing. So, like, was it a part of the creature? It was connected to the creature somehow, or just an item that's sort of fading away in power? Like, get more information about that.
Absolutely. Could you make me an Arcana check? While you're doing that, we have had, just now, one of the lovely viewers redeem advantage for Tithla Tithla, you have advantage. When you want to spend it, you basically have a community-bought inspiration.
You're the best. Is that because Owen fucked me so many times last week when I tried to buy myself?
I prefer tender loving, but I mean, if you want to call it that, you can. Josh is just wiping. Oh, it's getting hot in here.
Yeah, it is.
Jonor, what was your roll? 13 on the Arcana check. As you begin to examine this seed, Jonor, nature magic and druidic magic aren't areas of special study for you. But there is indeed something about this that you recognize. This seed it's not an enchanted item per se, but it does contain an enchantment of sorts. While not being a arcanist created or wizard created magic item, it has been imbued with some form of necromantic energy. But a strange form of necromantic energy. To your senses, it almost looks like the green tinge of nature magic, but with this decay, this kind of rust through it. I'm imagining a little bit similar to how your detect magic shows you the aura. I'm kind of picturing Jonor in your mind. That's kind of how you analyze this. And as you're feeling this magic and concentrating on it, you're not seeing the aura per se, but the feeling that you're getting from it is kind of constructing this mental image in your mind. And yeah, it's almost like it feels like some form of decay magic. Natural magic. This isn't unnatural. This isn't some sort of arcana magic. This is nature magic, but of a necromantic origin.
Getting a feeling for that one. Is Theo just nearby?
I am. I believe I am still in Bjornling form.
I believe you are currently in Bjornling form.
But, as a fun little tidbit, I'd like to think that my time spent briefly as a cranium rat gave me an insight in how to project my thoughts while in animal form. So Theo is now telepathic.
Fantastic.
As of that last level we got.
So we probably should say that's not something Haz is just adding to his character sheet.
This was also telepathic.
At the end of the previous session before our Blinsky's Garden special, we did have all the characters level up. In fact, that's actually a good chance to kind of show off what each of you have gotten from your level up. So, I mean, Theo, you reach out with your mind, this connection to your teammates growing stronger, and the form of the cranium rat kind of unlocking this latent telepathic field within your wild shape forms.
Yeah, that's essentially what I got for the level up and an extra level into Druid. So yeah, I'm in Bjornling form, but happy to pad over there, and you just feeling pulsing in your mind.
Jonor sort of is reaching over this ruby red, like crystal in the ground. Looks over to Theo. Hey Theo, you're probably not gonna. Oh, you're a bear again. Yep.
No, I can understand you fine, Jonor. What?
Whoa! What's going on?
You've detected thoughts before.
Jonor's getting his fingers. He usually points at people when he wants to talk to them.
Yeah.
And I turn around. How did you do that?
Ventriloquism?
I'd be hearing lots of like roars if it was ventriloquism. That's very neat. I'm not going to complain about this. Hey guys, talk to Theo.
Theo.
Oh, you're such a troll.
Guys, he can talk to you in your mind now. It's actually quite impressive.
Yeah, he can talk in our minds.
Yeah. Can't you hear him? Theo, tell him.
Nothing to anyone but Jonor.
So unnecessary, but also so great.
I'm going to go up to Jonor and just look at him in the eyes and make sure he's alright.
Yeah, Styx, as you
knock on the head.
No, I'm perfectly okay. No damage for me in this last little battle. Okay. No,
because I did.
Temporal.
So, Jonor, you found this red crystal. Do you need my help examining it?
Shakes his head. shakes his head. Yeah, you're not going to like this. I say out loud rather than I'm just continuing the one side.
You have to. So he can speak to you, but you can't speak back with the telepathy. It's just you speaking aloud to him, I think, isn't it?
Oh yeah, okay.
I'll have to double check.
Double check. I think it's not quite like a.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, Theo, you're not going to like this because it's actually there's a bit of druid magic going on in here, but it's not the type that you like. It's got some bad voodoo going on there. Probably by druids, and that you might want to get to the source of this one if you don't like those druids going around.
You can't talk back in your mind to me.
Sorry, I've taken that feat before to bypass the very same problems with Wild Shape.
It's still good. They can talk out loud back. It's still as long as I don't have to drop out of Wild Shape every time I want to have a chat, I'm happy.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, right, it's got a lot of versatility for being a massive troll. So what I did was, because I wasn't a moon druid, I'd turn into a cat and wander around and randomly talk into people to be like basically to pretend like I was some form of psychosis for them, like the voices in their head. And we did actually end up driving an NPC fairly mad by continually, like whenever we were around, I just telepathy to him and be like, they're behind you, look out, quick, every single time.
Somehow that's more evil than any of the shit we've done.
Yeah, it was fun.
For lols?
Yeah, it was a one shot. I had time. So what I normally do is for one shots, because I get to play characters very often. So normally I build a very specific build that's not good at combat, but has one exceptionally powerful feature. So I did a paladin that was basically you could not fight them because it was I think it was the Oath of Peace, essentially, or something like that, and you could just do calm emotions with advantage and basically no combat. It's there is no combat around you. Everyone has to talk it out and they have to hug it out at the end of the situation. There's a lot of really fun things you can do, like broken builds that are really silly and stupid and don't work in most situations, but are really fun when they do, and they're my favorites to make.
This is why you're the favorite DM.
Yeah, because no one else would put up with my characters at the table.
You've just talked yourself out of a guest slot.
No, I promised to do a proper one that you want me to do, Josh. I swear, I've learned the error of my ways.
I haven't. Theo, as Jonor holds down this seed and you have a bit of a closer look, would you like to make me a nature or arcana check? Your choice.
How am I untrained in both of those? Let's go nature, that's more thematic.
It is more thematic, I agree. 8.
I don't know why I rolled twice, but...
Unfortunately, I have to take the first roll. The second roll's way better. 18. 8. Theo. There's something about this that seems familiar. You can't quite put your claws on it at the moment, but you know that there's something about this seed something about this seems familiar, but you just can't figure it out. The blights, those vine-like creatures that were growing through the stone, that was a very, very new, enhanced form of something that you would have seen before known as a twig blight or a vine blight. These seems like much more empowered versions of them. Something about that rings a bell as well, but you just can't put your claw on it at the moment.
Sorry, Jonor, I don't think I don't know what it is. It seems familiar, but I suspect he's one of those druids of Yester Hills that we promised we'd take care of, but based on what happened to the Pomaticos, I suspect we may have delayed too long.
You're definitely right about the druids of Yester Hill. You're right, it's our wine mates probably are in a bit of trouble right now. I have been digging around a little bit, I guess. I could just literally identify what this thing is. I don't know why I'm just trying to go for a gist of it. Give me like 5 minutes and I can just figure this thing out. I'll spend my time just identifying this seed a bit more.
Yeah. What did he say? Jonor, what did he say?
He said we should probably check on the Mardikovs, because if the druids are running rampage here, that chased him down, they've probably gotten...
No, he said rawr.
He can talk to me.
No,
he can talk to me.
No. Uh-huh. You guys sit in the corner and we'll work this out.
All right, I'll go attend to my little seed.
When you say identify, I'm just going to brush past that. The phrasing of that. When you say identify, are you going to cast the spell identify?
Yeah, that's what I was planning on.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Jonor, as the magic swirls around you, you feel almost, I imagine kind of like the spell identify almost being like a portable mind palace to all the books you've ever read, rather than being like a spell which just magically, like in highlighter, etches the name of the thing above you, like in the air above the item. It's almost like you're delving back into your mind palace of all the books you've ever read, understanding all the deeper magics that you've studied throughout years and years of education in the magical and arcane arts. And as you sort of focus and let the spell almost like guide a passage through your mind, it comes to you. This is a briar heart. An empowered, almost like the best way to kind of describe this is with the history of it. Druids who have been corrupted by necromantic energy, who have given in to the decay form, almost like the circle of decay, a very, very long forgotten druid circle that is no longer surviving in Nostea to this day. The closest form would be the circle of spores, druids who focus on fungus and mushrooms. The circle of decay was a druid circle devoted to almost the destruction of nature, the creation of undead magic, natural forms of undead, plants taking control of larger animals, complex life forms. This very necromantic focused druid circle. Now, they were wiped out a very long time ago on Nostea. But there are whispers of some of their remnants, seeds containing their magic, still hidden and still studied in some of the universities of Nostea. The Unseen University being one of them. They might have even had a briar heart that you would have seen inside a glass case. The magic's still gone, like long dead, but the potential there for it to be reawoken, maybe at some point in the future. This looks very similar to that. You think there's a lot of parallels here. When channeled by a druid of the Decay Circle, this creates and controls blights, and in rare cases can be used to evolve them, to empower them and make them far more dangerous than they otherwise would be. You may add 1 briar heart to your inventory.
Oh, very exciting. Jonor would whisper, he'd just sort of say out loud to himself, like a few of those key words going there, like starting with briar heart and then the decay circle, destruction of like nature and creating undead things.
As you share that with Theo, all those memories come back. As Jonor says this out loud, she's like, yep, I've heard of this before. We were warned about this. This is something all the druid circles, not long after the giants vanished in Nostea, before the ruin, but not long after. And the Decay Druids were the only druid circle to basically work with the betrayer gods and to turn against the prime deities and to essentially try and bring about the end of the world as you guys knew it back during the ruin. Like this, all the druid circles banded together to wipe out the decay, the circle of decay. It was a huge effort.
I am bound to destroy this entire druid circle. I'm sorry. I must go quite immediately to the Wizards of Wine and then on to Yester Hill to take care of them.
Theo is very driven to actually go kill all of those druids, guys. That's what he said to me. I imagine passionately the bear would have...
Well, at that point, I would have broadcast that to everyone. I think I would have lost the enthusiasm for the gag once I realized that the circle
is a bit more serious.
Decay was in it. Yeah, this.
There's one more thing you would know as well, Theo. Because of the corruption of magic, the corruption of nature magic that the Circle of Decay druids use, none of them can wild shape. Nature rejects them. They are unable to wild shape. They have given up their ability to wild shape completely. That's part of the Decay Circle features. Not a single one of them is able to wild shape.
Why
Just as a fun
must
tidbit for
they be destroyed?
Do you remember how we were talking about good and evil in the sleep space?
Yes.
Remember that thing that happened that we haven't talked about, but we don't really know happened, but we all sort of just feel that it happened?
No.
Yeah, and we were in the garden, and then there was the jackalope.
Oh.
That
I
feels
thought
like a
that was-
distant dream. As you
Yeah.
think about it, it fades from your minds quickly.
Shared dream. It all happened, but you listen to me, I'll tell you what we kill.
All right.
And we're gonna go and deal with those druids.
Styx, I know this is quite new to you, but look, from my point of view, if we escape, even if we have a way out of this land, I cannot leave until they are gone. They are a blight upon the entire world. The Count and his brother.
You said blight.
Yes, I did say blight, as they were evil blights. And I mean, what I say is that they can make those and many more. The Count and his brother are indeed huge threats, but I think the more uncontained threat, the Circle of Decay, if they escape, they are a virus on the world.
Why?
Do you understand what a virus is?
I believe so. It is illness.
These druids inflict their illness upon nature itself. With enough time, if they get enough of a foothold, they will kill everything living just because they can.
Oh. But
And that is evil. If you needed the moral alignments there.
You need some benchmark.
Yeah. Death of natural world, very evil.
death is not evil. Death is necessary.
Yes, that is how I imagine they started this circle originally. Death and decay is a natural part of life, but when you focus so heavily on it that you seek to accelerate it beyond its natural cycle, it becomes evil.
I understand. All right.
Some would call that killing, I think.
It's much more than killing. It's
exterminating.
It's an end. It's not just killing and dying. You come back to kill more. It spreads like a virus. It's a
I
plague.
understand. All things in moderation.
A little killing, a little decay, good, needed. When you start killing the people that make the wine, very bad.
That's the most evil thing to Theo. I mean, as a satyr, anyone who interrupts the flow of wine and therefore the revelry.
They stop the revelry.
Yeah. No. That's not okay.
It's
the
not
wine
just
must
the-
flow.
It's not just the death and decay that they bring, it's also the fact that they have the ability to infect, manipulate, and control things that should not be manipulated and controlled in the way that they are. Everything should have its own right to choose its own path, and these creatures take that away from them. They take away the free will of all forms of nature, whether it be us sentient beings or blades of grass.
I understand. All death should be natural.
And they are not.
Not every death should be natural. That's okay. We understand that. What we are going to go and do to these things isn't necessarily a natural death. But too much unnatural death is bad. Like you said, everything in moderation.
No, what we do is natural. It is rebalancing.
You're learning quick sticks.
I don't
You are
use
learning
them.
creek sticks.
Hey.
I don't think I'm going to be able to tell you what the good and bad is anymore, am I?
I don't think you ever really knew Tithla.
I didn't say I
I've
knew.
been trying to teach you this for many years now.
I never said I knew. I just said I was going to say it.
That is even worse.
If I remember correctly, the Yester Hill was off of one of the roads that we took to get here. So is the plan to go back to the Wizards of Wine to check there first and then make our way back to go to Yester Hill, or should we go straight to Yester Hill?
You would have to go past the Wizard of Wines to get to Yester Hill.
Oh, okay. I thought we had to walk up to Kresik and then there was a path that we had to choose to split off. That's my bad memory.
The good news is that let me double check that I'm not saying the wrong thing. Let me quickly pull open the map, but I'm pretty confident that
Yeah, that'd be super embarrassing for you, Owen, if you couldn't keep. How many games are you?
3 now. 3 live streamed.
If you couldn't keep all 3 games perfectly in line in your head all at once for immediate recall on any minor detail, you just should be embarrassed.
To be fair,
let's describe to
if you want to put Yester Hill next to the winery, you can do that. You can do that.
I do have that
also,
choice.
Owen, did I buy you enough time to look up the map yet?
I need you to buy me a bit more time. Can you tell me something else?
So, Maisie Peters.
Oh no, I take it back.
You're fucking spaghetti on that one.
Yeah, no, that was completely my fault. No, you would have to go past. It's all good. You absolutely would have to go past.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we go past the wines, check out, make sure the Martikovs are safe, and then we proceed on. But I am concerned if we leave the Abbey and Arena unsafely defended.
I can stay if you need. I'm pretty injured. Still, it's going to take a little while for me to heal properly, so I could stay here.
So this clearly was not an attack by what the abbot was fearing. He was fearing an attack by the count or his brother, but this is one singular druid that killed 3 of the mongrel folk and almost killed Styx.
Do we know that it wasn't them? Do we know that they weren't acting as agents of one of those 2?
That's a fair point. I assume he just chased the Martikovs up from the winery and followed him here. But
well, we do have one that's unconscious, so we can ask some questions to him.
How does detect thoughts work on an unconscious person?
That's a really good point. Let me have a quick read again.
They wouldn't have any thoughts, would they? Because currently
they wouldn't have surface thoughts.
No, but I think it'd be a whiz save with disadvantage would be my... Let me just have a quick look.
Interesting.
What kind of question would you think
so the problem is right.
What would you look for?
The problem is right. If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind. If it's unconscious, I guess it'd be like its dreams that it's experiencing. You're kind of getting a bit of a look into.
Or nothing there. If I fail to probe deeper, I get nothing. Or
after being unconscious a few times, I don't think there's much dreaming going on.
Not that you remember.
Not that I remember.
Yeah, it's a
Well, the longer you're unconscious, is not good for you.
But yeah, just a little bit of Dane Bramage. It's not that bad.
That was good.
Wait, sorry. I think you got that muddled up. You actually got the start of the letters backwards.
Oh, did I get my words mixed up?
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
You did a rhythm spoon. It's okay. We've all done it. Yeah, I mean, you can certainly give it a go, but the other thing as well, right? He's just being knocked out. Bucket of cold water to the face wakes a lot of people up. You have to wait for him to recover. You can awaken this druid.
I slap him with my bare paw hoof.
And he's dead.
Behoof.
And
he's gone.
As you smash into him, roll me a d. No. As you basically gently whack him across the face, very slowly you watch as his eyes kind of flutter. The figure before you that you've bound and gagged, hidden beneath the robes, was hard to kind of make him out. He looks to be a human, probably in his maybe mid-40s. Very unruly, bushy beard that looks like it is not being kept or combed or maintained. Hair matching, matted, and almost woven into parts of his beard, so they kind of merge into this one almost balaclava across his head and face. dirty and grimy, but underneath you can see these red, almost tattoo-like markings across his face, winding down his arms, forming what almost look like veins of blood, is the best way to describe this. And as he slowly comes to, his eyes are bloodshot. One of his eyes is a bit milky white, actually. It looks almost like a cataract is formed behind one of the eyes. And as he slowly comes to and groans to himself and then looks up, he just struggles against the ropes that you have bound him with, but is unable to break free. What's this? What's this?
Directly into his mind. Abomination. If you cooperate, I will make it quick.
Make what quick? You're a druid.
And you are an abomination?
You need to listen to me, druid. You're needed at Yester Hill. You need to set me free. Come back with me to Yester Hill.
We will be going to Yester Hill, but not with you. Tell me, who sent you here? Who told you to attack the Mardikovs?
No one told us to attack the Mardikovs. We made a decision as a group, as a circle.
And why do I need to go to Yester Hill?
You're the answer to fix this curse. Your blood, the blood of a shapeshifter.
What curse?
The one that stops us transforming.
You see, I'm not particularly inclined to help you with anything, so...
We don't need the filthy Mardikovs if we've got your blood. Pure shapeshifter blood.
What did you want with Mardikovs?
Lesser shapeshifter blood. As he looks over at Adrian, who pales. The young lad, obviously.
Luther, do you have any questions for him? Because I'm about to take one druid of decay out of the system.
Luther thinks, purses his lips, and remembers that steamy night back in the garden. No. Sorry. Luther just looks lost in thought for a moment as he considers his options.
So, I'm gonna kneel down next to the dude. I'm gonna start a campfire, like real quick, just a little fire. I'm gonna put a pot on the fire and I'm gonna put ball bearings that I have in there.
Wow.
Now, so you're not gonna give us any intel, are you?
I relay what he told me. He spoke that aloud, didn't he? Actually, so
yeah, he spoke it aloud. And you could have broadcasted your thoughts, Theo, so everyone heard what you were interrogating him. Yeah. You have no idea what pain I've been through before. These little tricks, nothing.
Okay.
I am no stranger to pain.
So one of his hands are manacled, so I sort of have one of his palms out, and then I grab one of the ball bearings that are now really hot, and I hold it above his hand. So, look, I don't really want to do this. I don't like hurting people, but you don't have any qualms with that. You came in and murdered people left, right, and center. So the rest of your druids obviously aren't that nice. Tell us, your purpose here today. What was it, truly?
The blood of a shapeshifter.
And what do you need that for? Like, really, I know you gave us some... You briefly talked about it, but can we have a little bit more on that front?
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, okay. I dropped the ball bearing in his hand.
And you watch as he grits his teeth and grunts as the acrid smell of burning flesh rises from his hand as the ball bearing sinks in, the skin bubbling around it before it cools enough that the skin sets.
I don't let it.
Oh, you don't let it set in there. Okay, cool.
I'm not going to let it set. I'm not that depraved. I am lawful good at the end of the day. The reason I'm really
this
doing
seems like lawful good.
This guy murdered. He's murdered a lot of people. That's why I have that I think that's why I think I have that moral ground right now. But I'm definitely not like, I don't want to torture him too much.
Can I crouch down next to Luther and this guy, and just touch him, the druid on the arm, and just give him 5 points of healing?
Sure. As you do, you watch as the skin slowly knits itself back together again on his hands, leaving a red scar, an angry red scar.
Then I'm going to grab his, just above his wrist, and
no.
just above
I
his
knew this was
elbow.
going to escalate.
Would you like to answer, my friend?
You think he can make me talk, metal man?
I break his arm. And then I give him another 5 points of healing.
As the arm not put back in the correct position begins to slowly heal, misshapen. Again, like he grits his teeth and tries to like bear through this pain. Could you make me an intimidation check, Styx and Luther, both of you?
Okay.
This is
super good.
See someone in chat said Curse of Strahd brings out the best in players.
Oh.
Apparently it does, Cold Brew Carter. Apparently it does. What do we got? We've got a 6 from Styx, but a 15 from Luther. As Luther reaches out with the tongs and picks up another ball bearing, and you bring it over towards him once again, the druid kind of pauses, this wild-haired madman.
No,
Quickly,
stop.
you know I have 1,000 of these, right?
Stop. What was your question?
Oh, well, what is your purpose for having the blood of a shapeshifter? Like, I know you talked about it briefly, but I want the full, goss.
We can't transform like other druids. The curse prevents it. But if we had the blood of a shapeshifter, maybe we could reverse it. Regain the forms of the night once again. The forms of decay.
How did this curse... How did it come into being? How did it befall your grove?
We don't know. None of us do. We don't know the origin. But it seems bound to our magic.
I mean, you could have just asked for help. You didn't have to come and murder people.
No, we would have killed them all if they came to a real druid. As I will do today. There is no helping these creatures.
We've tried. You're not the first druid to come to these lands. The magic is hard to get right. We've had a number of goes, but we think we're close. Your blood, druid. We could do it with your blood.
Why is transformation so important to you?
There are dangers in Barovia, and opportunities for those who can change their shape. And if we can prove ourselves loyal once again, prove ourselves powerful, our time will come once more to rise and stand in the shadow of our Lord.
Loyal to who?
I'm not gonna tell you. You can
Well,
torture me as much as you want.
We probably know who it is, don't we?
Is it Sergei von Zarovich the Lich? Or the Mr. Count von Dracula?
We serve the true master of this realm, even if he does not acknowledge us right now.
What happened to the other Martikovs?
By now, hopefully we've taken them. Their blood, though dilute, should contain enough of the shapeshifter magic.
And what are you going to do to them? Are you just going to take a little drop of blood, or are you going to bleed them all dry?
The ritual is messy.
The crystal the Martikovs had, did you take that?
Yes, of course. We can use it to grow our blights once it's been suitably molded.
Corrupted. I seem corrupted.
Yes, I think he does mean corrupted.
Imagine what we could do with 3 of them. One of them was enough to create 4 Briar Hearts. With 3, we can cover the land in blights.
I made an oath of protection. One to protect my friends. The Martikovs are my friends, and you have hurt them. Which means I now have the right to hurt you. And I walk up to him. I put my hand on his like on his face, and I widen his eye out.
This one is for me to kill. Just FYI, hurt him all you want, but I will kill this one.
I'd like to know who your master is, please, and I'm going to cast light on his eyeball.
Oh,
By touching it.
that is.
Could you please make me a spellcasting check? D20 plus your spellcasting modifier.
That's definitely one of the more creative uses of light I've seen.
Yeah.
For anyone who's ever said light's just a harmless cantrip to see in the dark.
That's a 10.
That's a 10. Look, it's bright, but this figure, I mean, despite the magic he's displayed, seems human. And you watch as initially as he shies away, his pupil constricts and adapts to the light. He's not some creature of darkness that is damaged or hurt by sunlight or light. He is a man. And just a man.
Seeing him coil away with that and not be physically hurt, I'd just slip a bear claw into his eye to simulate the effects he was going for.
I'm gonna roll to see if the shock of this kills him, given that he's at like a few hit points. Could you roll me?
I've been giving him little boosts. I've given him 10 so far.
Yeah, but I mean, a bear has just look. Bear claws are not precision instruments, right? They're not.
That's what it is.
It would be the cocaine bear.
It would be. Bear claws are large. They have quite a large diameter, and they're not. I know they look like they're very sharp, but they're not needle sharp. A bear claw is the width of a human eye socket once it gets in deep enough. This is definitely.
So it can't go any further.
No. Could you please roll me a d20? I think it's only fair.
Sell you a dexterity save.
A dexterity save for a man manacled, bound on the ground.
Oh yeah.
Roll D20 it is.
Just a flat d20, and I'll add his constitution to it. It was a con save for him.
Can I also add an extra 2 points of healing as like a little quick blip at the same time?
As you watch, as Theo just reaches up with his Baonling claw, this enormous bear claw, and just pushes it through into the eye socket.
It was the light cantrip. I did nothing.
That is just enough. As the bear claw pushes through, he screams and faints.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
Is he alive or?
He seems to be still breathing in ragged, gasping breaths. He's actually quite constitutional, this druid, it turns out.
Can I find a piece of metal on the floor?
Yes. There's fragments of chipped swords and battered shields and the remnants of the barricade as well that had some metal items stacked up in it.
I'd like to pick up a really small bit and wait for him to wake up.
Can I also turn to Theodore and just look at him? I've still got one hand on this guy's arm. I'll just say, my mistress would like to play with this one.
No, this one is set for the executioner's block. As soon as we find out which one he is, the druids are serving, I will kill him.
After his essence is gone, my mistress will have him.
Oh, that is
Do
fine.
not worry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I thought it was more of a mortal concern. No, that is completely fine. Who is your mistress, by the way? Sounds
She is the harbinger of death.
Cool.
Okay.
Lots of death worship going on around here.
She will guide all human and other creature souls across. But she will play with this one.
It's one of the most ominous sentences I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, that's a Blinsky sentence.
That's a Blinsky sentence.
I'm going
So is
to
your-
after. Oh, sorry, Jonor.
You go on. You go on.
I was just going to say, after doing that, well, for the torture, it was necessary to get information, but now I'm going to abstain myself from the further continuation of said torture and murder. So I'm going to, I've done something bad, so I'm going to just, while the rest of the party's dealing with it, I'm just going to close my eyes for a second, just pray to Lysander.
Go and say 10 Hail Marys and it'll all be better.
That's how that works.
I'm sorry.
Apparently.
I drew the.
No,
Can I
sorry.
just scream into this guy's mind and try and wake him up?
Yeah, absolutely. Jonor, what were you going to say?
Through the shock of witnessing our party do this for the first time, it's a bit of a shock to that one. Then hearing the mistress having sort of control of the direction and flow of souls, given the revelation that had been had maybe 2 or 3 sessions ago about, Strahd is probably able to keep the souls in. Usually they go, but there's some power going on here. That flicks through Jonor's mind. Hey there, Styx. How exactly does your mistress control get a handle of these souls? That seems like a pretty big thing to do.
I am only a servant. I do not know.
How would you know if the soul's being given to her? Because there's some weird things going on with the souls in this land.
I do not know.
Okay, I'll settle down. Sorry.
I am but a servant to her cause. I assist.
Yeah. All right. Well, so you don't know if the soul's gone or not. That's just completely out of your detection.
I do not know.
Oh, jeez. I take a step back.
You've managed to make Styx adorable and then horrifying within the space of a few seconds, which is actually kind of impressive.
I try.
Jacob.
Tithla would like to do something when they are able to wake up this guy again.
What would that be?
Does the screaming wake him up?
Yes, it does.
Tithla, with Theo brain screaming him and Killian standing over him with a jagged piece of metal, Tithla will loose an arrow at his head.
Okay. As he slowly wakes up, bound once again, writhing, trying to sort of nudge the blood pouring out of his eye socket. Tithla?
And Tithla will use advantage for this attack.
Can I try and bat that out of the air?
I was going to say the exact same thing. Can I...
That's in that 20. 29.
Ooh.
Still gonna try it. So I'm gonna be real pissed at you.
Dexterity saving throw from Styx and Theo, please, to try and get in the way of this arrow as Tithla just looses it. I mean, an arrow travels fast.
You get a +1.
in range of Styx. Well, this actually, it's funny. So Chad have said if I'd committed to a voice like that on session 1, I'd be regretting it by session 2. This is the third full session that Raph has had to do this voice. Doesn't seem to have slowed him down, which is impressive.
It's actually surprisingly easy to do.
And really concerning
because
because
it's hard to get the vowels sometimes.
If he's ever not here, I have to do that voice to play as Styx, and I'm genuinely afraid that I can't do that voice properly. Your last one, Grinner, was easy as one of my favorite voices to do. Now I'm genuinely afraid that I'm going to have to try and do Styx. I can't.
Yeah.
And what would it sound like?
I'm not doing it. I need to practice way more. 10 and a 5. Theo and Styx. Unsurprisingly, sorry, 11 and a 6. Unsurprisingly, you're just not as quick as an arrow loosed from a recurve compound bow, as Tithla just unleashes this arrow straight into the druid's head. As he falls back, you watch as a smile begins to move up his face, as he essentially just drops limp and lifeless to the ground.
My mistress has him now.
I mind scream at Tithla. What are you doing? I said he was mine.
You had him. You had your chance. And you just wanted to hurt him. We don't just hurt things for the sake of hurting them. We can kill them if we have to.
We had questions. He was not answering them.
He was answering them.
No, he was refusing to say who he worked for.
Well, there was too much.
These things, Tithla, we will kill them all.
And I'm okay
Every
with
one
that.
of them.
I will help you do it.
And if I have to torture all of the men, women, and children to do it, I will do so. I love peace.
Yeah, I get the reference now. I get the reference now.
If that's what you say, then I'll have to stop you.
This is...
I mean, if anybody has a diamond, I could revivify him.
No, he is not worth that.
No, my magic isn't for him.
Look, Tithla, I will do it as painlessly as I can, but
And I will help
to
you.
make an omelette, you have to scramble a few eggs or eyeballs.
What?
And you did. And I let you go for a little bit.
And I was waking him back up. I did not expect him to pass out from
the metal ball.
From Killian's light.
There was a lot.
I agree. Luther's metal balls and Killian's light spell were a bit intense. They probably went a little too far, but
I like how you're gaslighting the use of a light spell. That's impressive. It's like multi-layer gaslight.
You're right, light spell's super dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, look what it did to his eyes.
It's not even a spell, the cantrip.
I love that I did one ball bearing and then it was healed immediately and you gouged at his eye and you're telling us that we did worse.
The light cantrip did it.
I'm a victim here too.
I actually never intended to do past 1.
Yeah, it always starts at 1 though.
What is the moral problem with pain?
Well, there's things about sentience, and if you make something that can live and feel hurt, that's bad. You know, if you hurt someone, they're in agony, and agony's bad.
But if you are not in pain, you are not alive.
You've gotten real wise lately, Styx. Real wise.
I know death.
I don't think that to be alive you have to be in pain. I think those that are alive can experience pain, but we don't have to have pain all the time.
No, but those who are dead cannot. What better way to know you are alive?
I mean, you're right there. That's you know you're alive if you're in pain, but there's a threshold for sure, and
we choose that pain. We choose to live with that pain. He wasn't able to choose to live with that pain.
We chose that pain for him.
Exactly.
That
he
is
didn't.
bad.
It was bad for me.
Tithla, so what happens if we didn't find out and we go for the wrong pin? You know, we go for the wrong guy and then the druids keep on going.
I think we can make that justification about anything. I think as long as we can wake up in the morning and look at our reflection in the lake and be proud of what we see, then we've done the right thing. We're not going to do everything right, but we're also not going to do everything wrong. As long as we're trying to do the good things, I don't think we need to justify it with the bad.
I'm inclined to actually believe, to agree with you. I think this place the darkness has crept in a little bit to some of us. So thank you, Tithla, for, redirecting us, bringing us back.
Perhaps it means less to you not coming from a druidic circle yourselves, but there is no level of extermination that is not justified.
I mean, the Wildfire Druids, the Circle of Wildfire, was, I mean, Theo, this is kind of secret knowledge that hasn't come out in the Return of the Giants campaign yet, but because of the passion Theo feels for this, I'm going to say, you know that the Circle of Wildfire was created to wipe the stain of the Circle of Decay from the face of Nostea. An entire circle of druids devoted to fire and its cleansing effects just to get rid of this circle, just to get rid of the followers of this corruption of natural magic.
I don't relay that secret knowledge.
No.
Yeah,
just some fun knowledge for those who watch this and the Return of the Giants campaign. It's a bit of extra,
I will avoid torture where possible, but if any bit of information we can get from them helps lead to their destruction and end, I will take it.
I guess we'll just sort of have to play it by ear.
If I have to play by taking off their ears, I will.
Well, maybe we just try and be quick about it and we don't try and drag things out.
Well, if he didn't pass out, they wouldn't have dragged it out, but agreed. I did offer him a quick death if he had to cooperate. He did not. I offered him as a choice. He chose pain.
I have learned very much today.
I don't like that.
What you learn is that morality is a bit more grey than kill or don't kill. Sometimes you must do horrible things because it is less horrible than what will happen if you don't.
No, I'm not sure that that's the lesson that we.
Yeah, if you boil that down to its essence, that is the ends justify the means, which.
In this case, it do, because the end is the end.
No, I guess the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So I guess we're just going to be careful.
Hey, that's pretty poetic. Where'd that come from?
Well, sure, maybe somewhere in Oxenfurt.
Ah.
In this case, the road to hell is paved by not stopping these druids.
And we will get them. We will cleanse them. But we can't lose ourselves. I myself lost myself there a little bit. Just seeing all the mongrel folk killed by this one and his creations. And not to mention, no, we don't even know where Grinner is.
What
pretty tough at the moment.
That is also very concerned.
Did any of you remember in that dream?
He was not there, and that was even more concerning. Every time we've had
some of those characters, some of those people, some of those things were they knew something. Something.
The jackalope?
I don't really recall much of the dream in that regard.
Which is a small blush spreads across Luther. No,
Killian walks off.
I'm kidding.
Someone please.
It was obviously a charm spell. Or something.
Killian, as you turn to walk off, you see Adrian looking very pale, while you guys were doing this, having vomited over in the corner and looking at all of you with quite a bit of fear.
Good point. Adrian, we have learned something of your family. Apparently you are shapeshifters?
Adrian, as you suddenly turn your... Sorry, you go.
Please just be honest at this point. We are going to go down and help your family as best we could. We need to know everything. If you withhold information, people die.
As you turn your mind towards him and your attention in this Beowulf form, your claw still dripping with the blood of this druid, Adrian looks... I mean, this is a kid who's like 14, 15. He's terrified of you, having just seen what you've done. I mean, yes, this person attacked him and his family, but really this is probably the most horrible thing he's ever witnessed in his life. And as you turn your attention towards him, he kind of stumbles back, falling over, gets up, and immediately goes, we're not supposed to talk about it, but we have the we're ravens. We can the Monaco family, we can all turn into were ravens. Please don't hurt me.
Wait.
Just wear raven, or just you can turn into a raven, or you are all were ravens?
We are were ravens. We can take raven and like a human and this like hybrid form. We're all of us, all the whole Marikov family are. We're yeah. Please.
Was one of your family members near Vallaki?
I don't know. There's a lot of family members. Maybe I'm not sure.
I turned to everyone else. Do you guys remember when we were with those hags?
The crow outside yes, the spooky crows that was far more...
Almost like it was...
alive.
Remember how it acted? It was almost like it was trying to tell us something, but then it flew off in a panic.
I do not remember this.
You weren't there, Styx. Sorry.
Oh.
Perhaps your memory has been damaged. You have forgotten this already?
Don't confuse
no.
him.
Sorry, I'm just going through my notes and opened up the first page I opened up to says Grinner fell asleep on guard.
Oh yeah, that's the thing still, isn't it?
That's a callback.
Okay, that's good to is it a voluntary transformation, or is it like Luna?
No, voluntary. When we're young, we're not so good at it, but by the time we're like teenagers, we've normally got it under control. And like high stress situations sometimes make us lose control.
Control seems pretty good.
I just really don't want to die.
You will not die. I can promise you will not die.
Can I just stride purposefully over to this Marikov boy? Like,
yeah, I mean, you're a tall, scary robot made of bones. Sure.
Do not break his arm.
I'm just going to stride directly up to him, crouch down onto his level, looking eye to eyes, and just say, "We will not damage you."
You watch as black feathers begin to sprout from his hair and across his arms momentarily before slowly sinking back in again.
Styx is going to try and give him a cuddle.
Ooh. Can I get you to make a grapple check? That's going to be an athletics check, please. He is an unwilling subject. On account of you being, as discussed before, a robot comprised of dark black metal shards, copper, brass, and bones. 15. You, like, despite his, like, fear and terror in his eyes, his reaction isn't to fight or fly, it is to freeze. And so you just, like, gently wrap your arms around him. Do you, like pat him on the back? It's like, there, or, like, what do you say anything?
It's like a really just gentle, not too tight, just cuddle. And I kind of rock him back and forth for a minute, just holding him.
Could you make me a persuasion check, please? It is going to be with disadvantage because of the current situation, but I just want to see, I want to see how comforting this is. 7, okay. 6. We'll take the 6. Styx, I mean, biological life forms, this works. So all's gone well in your mind, and as you slowly release him, He drops down to the ground, indicating his muscles have relaxed, and it has had the desired effect.
Congratulations. And Grinner's just going to stand... Grinner, oh no! Styx is going to stand up.
Sorry, I'm not sure if you know. Grinner's dead?
I'm dead.
Episodes
My
ago.
heart! Styx is just going to stand up and take a step back, knowing that he's done a good job.
Yeah. Adrian kind of scurries away a little bit along the ground, nudging rubble and concrete, sections of stone that have been broken, away in his path as he gets back up against the wall away from Styx.
I'm going to de-bear at this point. Okay, we need to have a real discussion. Obviously, these druids cannot wait. The Martikovs are in danger, but between all of us, this is probably just me talking to people out here around me. I don't trust to leave Irina here with just the abbot for both risk of attack and risk that the abbot will just fly off with her and swap out to Strahd.
Yeah, I'm definitely questioning his alignment, this abbot. I'm entirely with you there, Theo.
So as we bring her with us into an obviously dangerous situation, we know she can kind of handle herself, but that would also take her away from the safety of the abbey. So
well,
the
do we try and do it stealthy at least for a time?
Do what stealthy?
Take her with us, because if everyone thinks that she's at the abbey, so if we take her with us, stealthily, hopefully it'll buy us some time.
Can her appearance be changed?
Yes, we could put a mustache on her.
You're muted, sorry, Jacob.
Fuck. At the same time, you said mustache, I said funny hat, and I was like, yeah, great minds.
But I didn't hear that, so now it's just a lame joke. You said way too late. Like,
Self-joke.
it's just a sad too late joke.
Do we really want to make an enemy of the abbot when he realizes that she's gone?
Well, that's it. I think we have to leave at least half of us here if we're going to leave her here with the abbot. But that would mean we are wildly understaffed for both protecting her here and taking on the druids. Like one of them alone was a reasonable challenge for all of us. I don't want to take on the whole. I know. I said I would personally exterminate them all, but I truthfully don't think I could without all of your help. You are kind of my circle now.
Could we bring the abbot as her chaperone?
We could ask him, but I suspect he will not. He's a bit skittish.
The Wachters are still here, by the way, Nikolai and Stella.
Yes, given one Wachter was roughly worth one push from Grinner. I don't really trust them to protect Arena. They can tell us what the abbot does, but I think if we get back and the abbot and Arena are not here, we can assume she's at Castle Ravenloft. So what do you guys think? I think it's probably best if we. This guy's plan seems good.
I'm a little confused because it felt like only a minute ago, maybe 10, the plan was to let her go off to the castle, and now we don't, because a couple of us had queries around that at all.
The plan was for her to go there, but with us, so we can safely negotiate us leaving the land, the abbot leaving the land, and better living conditions for everyone in Barovia. If we just let the abbot go, I suspect the abbot will get free passage out of here, we will get stuck, and the world here will stay shit. So
you would trade one woman's suffering for your freedom
and the betterment of everyone here. It was her choice. I really have to stress that. And
we can't guarantee.
We do not know she will
that's going to
suffer.
happen, though.
We do not know she will suffer. You cannot guarantee that Tithla. We want her as a bride.
I still wouldn't do this plan.
I will not help you in this.
Well, regardless, we need to keep her safe. Whether we are taking her to Strahd or not, we need to stop her from being taken early on.
We were trying to find an option 1 and option 2, and none of us liked any of this. This option 3 seems to be the most progressive in all of our agendas.
I'm yet to hear different solutions that would work beyond.
Well, look, this might not be a solution, but
Well, then don't say it. We're after solutions here.
Well, I've come to a bit of a, I guess,
it's called brainstorm.
Revelation, but I have no plans now to go back. I'm going to hopefully end both threats and bring light back to this realm. That's my aim.
Look, Grinner tried it. I think there might be a chance to get, like, if you do truly think the count is irredeemable.
What is Grinner?
He was our dear friend. He has gone missing temporarily, but I'm sure he'll be back very soon.
All right.
I can stay. I can stay behind. I'm still relatively injured. One of us at least one of us needs to be here in case Grinner does somehow make his way back here.
I was thinking perhaps a note would also serve that function.
Well, a note would serve that, but the note would not protect Arena from the abbot, or the walkers from the abbot, or the abbey itself from an attack from the count, or the
Either
lich.
would a one-armed, one damaged.
He's got both arms back.
Well,
But exactly, that's why I'm saying leaving just Killian, while he does seem incredibly keen to avoid really pitching in combat, I don't think it would help all that much to have him stay here.
and it seems like he sort of just wants to stay here where the beds are.
He does seem to like the beds, yes.
Is it possible for Killian to let us know somehow if there is danger?
Probably not, no.
I reckon I could find a way to communicate with you if needed.
Walkie-talkies.
Otherwise known as a sending stone in D&D.
I think we've all learned a lesson not to split up. Look what's happened. We can't find Grinner now. He's just disappeared.
Literally, one of the episodes of this series is called Never Split the Party. I mean...
Exactly, and we're doing it again.
Great lesson. We learned from it.
No, you didn't. That was well before Grinner vanished.
Do we want to take Arena with us to the Druid? I don't think we can really wait more than an hour or so before we have to head off to fight the Druids, or the Martacals will be in danger.
I think the thing that we've got to think about here, there is one element here that we're not thinking of, and I look at Adrian.
Is it potassium?
He doesn't look like he's
Bananas.
in a condition to travel back.
I think he was to stay here. I think the abbot.
But if we take Irina with us, that's going to make an enemy of the abbot. What do you think he's going to do to Adrian if we leave Adrian here and not the Martikovs, the other ones, the Wachters, and what's going to happen if we make an enemy of him with them still here?
Do we trust the abbot if he says something?
To an extent.
I met a woman upstairs. I took her harp. She looked like that other woman, but with more scars. Could you make the other woman disfigured and confuse the abbot as to which person is which?
Perhaps we could. I mean, I will not disfigure her, but if we have a kit of.
So there is a line. Good.
You act like I'm evil, Tithla.
Sorry, what? Did somebody say something?
No, I'm just not sure where your boundaries are.
You've traveled the woods with me for many years, Tithla. You know I am not an evil creature. This is a threat more extremes than I can probably communicate to you. This is the first thing they teach us.
That's why I trust you when you say we need to kill them all.
So do not think me evil. It pains me for you to see me as something dangerous.
It pains me to see you as dangerous too, but I trust you.
There's one more angle with the abbot we haven't fully exhausted yet, and I think I would need Luther to really make this one work. So this is a man who's well strayed away from his god, and he tries. He really does try. If we give him a little bit of a nudge and the correct guidance, he's calling out echoes to the wrong god. If we, Luther, if you could have a chat with Lysandra, I'm not sure if that's something you can do, and then you get her to, get him to go the right way, follow the right path. This, he could become an ally.
He's what the abbot's an ally now, though, regardless of the god that he serves. I served a different god to all of you before all of this happened, and I'm still an ally.
I think Jonor's trying to say that the abbot has strayed, and we need to get him back on the path.
And
if we can do that, very well could make him an ally we can trust. He's an ally we cannot trust right now.
Yeah, that's it. Every move he think he's gonna. We can't trust him, and I think this might be a way on.
He's a being of light, of good, a beacon of light, a beacon of good that has been in a land of darkness for a long time. Conversation that I had with you recently, Jonor, is the longer you are in this land, the more you become corrupted. Perhaps he has become corrupted to a point where his light is waning, as it were, and that is why from what I've seen, he seems fractured. And maybe that's not something that we can fix.
Something we can't fix, but maybe a very powerful being could.
I mean, we came to him as he was the most powerful healer in the land. Who else could we get to heal him?
As I just mentioned before, the one that he serves.
Look, it's definitely a long shot. Even now, as we're in this realm, I don't feel my god's presence as often as we were back in our world, but there are times where I feel her light.
I looked at your glistening gun, the bullets loaded into your weapon, and the sigils carved on the wooden handle. We clearly know that we can get some. We can clearly know we get some, some contact going on.
Well, I mean, we could. Does anyone actually have the disguise kit? So, as an option, we could put scars on Marina's face and pretend we're taking Vasilka out for a stroll.
Well, I think we try at least Jonor's idea, and we can use that idea, the disguise one, as a backup if everything goes to shit.
Probably better, yeah. But do we have the disguise kit? Can anyone do this?
I can find a knife.
Nope.
So, I actually don't have a disguise kit on me, but I have been trained in their use before.
Okay.
If we can find one, I can use it.
I'm sure the abbot will have paints or medicine we could dye her skin with. But okay, how do we reconnect him with the god?
Well, it's easier said than done. But I have had a bit of a revelation at the moment. Something happened when I was helping Killian reconnect to his gods or god. I felt a stirring within me. The connection between me and my god is a bit stronger than before. So maybe I could.
Maybe I could set up. Whichever one it is.
I have. So that's my level up. I end up taking a cleric level because I know there's already 2 cleric dips, but I've literally been doing heaps of cleric stuff.
You have.
But maybe I could bless him, or even this thing. I'm not sure. I think I've done it before. Now that it feels so much more familiar, I can cast a spell called Ceremony. Something like that can just start the process, and then hopefully we can carry it through that.
I think it is worth a shot if we can trust the abbot to protect her here without taking her to Strahd, until we as a group with Irina decide what we are going to do there. Then...
Oh my god, I just realized something. Just add a game. Ceremony, there's something called Atonement. You touch one willing creature, so willing, whose alignment has changed, and you make a DC 20 Wisdom Insight check. On a successful check, you restore the target to its original alignment.
I thought that's why you were suggesting Ceremony. I was sitting there like, I'm so proud of you.
I'm sorry, I actually just came across...
I'm still really proud of you.
Can I get some of that too? I feel so bad disappointing Tithla.
Well, no, because I just read the perform a social religious ceremony is infused with magic, so I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. And then that's why I suggested. But then I started reading it as we were talking, and I'm like, holy shit, that's actually nuts. That's awesome.
That sounds like exactly what would be helpful right now.
I'm happy I got there.
Let's hope it rolls well. That would be helpful. We could change the outcome.
Yeah, you've got it. I know. And isn't one of your portents a natural 20, Tom?
I got a 13 and a 6. It's an even little spread of success.
I feel like you really could have said yes there, buddy.
Because the last ones I screenshotted.
Hold on.
The last one I screenshotted was a 7 and a 20.
Well, wait.
Nah, it's a 6 and a 13.
That must have been a previous one. Thank you for your honesty.
If it's a 13, I have a
Tom does also have an inspiration too.
18, and I have guidance now as well, so I can potentially get us there to 20. But
Can you cast guidance and ceremony at the same time, though?
You cast guidance on him.
Well, ceremony
I can cast guidance on you.
I can
there
cast
we go.
guidance. Well, there you go. It can
Current chain. Tithla to cast guidance on you to cast guidance on.
The ceremony is a ritual anyway. It doesn't say anything of it being an actual concentration spell.
It's not a concentration spell.
How long does this take?
Well, it'll take me an hour to cast it, to prepare it.
Okay, let's get started. I think that's all the time we could spare.
But we should definitely talk to the abbot first. I need to have a dialogue with him. I need to try and reason with him first. Try and start swaying him to that idea.
I think I've already planted the seed with him, and he's been vaguely interested in my my history here. He did a little bit. He had a bit of interest, but they just whacked it all away. So it's a conversation for us two to lead.
In worst case scenario, we know he has that fancy celestial potion. We could probably either spray on him or operate it.
Okay, phrasing.
What is the purpose of us realistically doing this? If it's going to take an hour for Luther to cast this ceremony spell, then that's an hour that we're taking out of getting to the Wizards of Wines and checking to see if there's anybody else there, and then it's taken an hour out of us getting to Yester Hill to stop what this druid said was going to be a sacrifice of Adrian's other family members.
Well, I think if what it gets us is the abbot as someone we can rely on to protect the abbey and arena while we are gone. Otherwise, we have to take her from the safety of the holy grounds on the abbey, risk getting attacked by not just the druids but also by Strahd or Sergei, and losing her, losing any hope we have of getting out, and pissing off the abbot by taking her. So trust her to stay here by herself with the abbot or with just you and hope. Do you think you could fight the abbot off 1v1 if he tries to take her?
I don't think there would be any need for me to fight the abbot off one by one. There is conversations that can be had in order to persuade him to not take Irina. The way that I look at it is, when I joined all of you, take me out of the equation, and with Grinner not being here, there is the same number of people here that I originally joined, and you have all done, from what I could tell, exceptionally well in this land. Me staying behind to wait for Grinner to come here and to talk to the abbot, help the abbot with shoring up the defenses here and making sure that Irina isn't traded away, is a better chance for us to get the Martikov safe. Because you can leave right now and I could do my thing and you can go.
But my concern is if the abbot decides to just take her, could
not
you
to
stop
mention,
him?
I will say this as well, Killian, what we're about to undertake is no small task.
We could use you.
We need all of us there, full strength. Otherwise, we will fall.
I have a point that I would like to make.
Yeah, jump in.
There, the.
We stuck in the processing loop. Turn you off and on again.
Let me just turn the key in the back. Oh no, wait, sorry, I was in the dream.
The druids chased this boy all the way here. They knew that he would be coming here. They said that the blood is weak. They will need all of these children and family members to complete the ritual. Would it not make sense that they would wait for this boy? Perhaps we have more time than we think.
I mean, maybe, but we cannot ask them because an arrow mysteriously appeared in his head.
Did this druid know that you were here, Theo?
He did not know I was here, but he seems... I mean, unless he can communicate...
Theo, you would remember because it's
mycelially they are.
You'd remember because it was only for your character. It was only like a few minutes ago. For you, it was like 3 weeks ago. When you rushed out of the barracks to try and save Styx and transformed into the Beyondling right in front of him. That's when the druid seemed to lose all composure. He was not expecting you, but when he saw you, it seemed like everything kind of changed for him.
Would I know anything about these guys? I know that it's the circle of spores that deals with mushrooms and stuff.
Yeah, this is very different.
Do they have kind of like a Last of Us mycelium hive mind intelligence for these guys?
No, these guys don't use. They're not. The Circle of Spores is very different. Circle of Spores is kind of like the accepted version of the Circle of Decay, right? It's still about the natural balance. The Circle of Decay was very much not about the natural balance. It was all about the domination of these parasitic plants, essentially the blights. But so, no hive minds, as far as you're aware. Yeah.
Just because he knows that I was here doesn't. It's unlikely the rest of them would know that I'm here.
Yeah. Do you want to roll me? I'm going to say an Arcana check with advantage, please. Or Nature with advantage, your choice.
Same, so I'll take Nature.
Yeah, you've got advantage on this, given that your history with the Circle of Spores. 19's a great start. 13? We'll take the 19. Yeah, I mean, there's no way they know immediately what's happened here. Theo, you would know that this, whatever communication they'd have would have to require magical means. A spell like Sending or Sending Stones, for example, would do it. He didn't have time to cast any of those spells locked in the midst of combat, as far as you're aware, and he didn't have any Sending Stones on him. It's very unlikely that the knowledge has been transmitted back to the group. What's more, with a 19, you're pretty confident that sudden, let's put it this way. It is a long run from the Wizard of Wine's vineyard to here. Adrian would have run for hours. This is a marathon that he's done to get to you. For the druid to chase down this one kid, you think Styx might actually be onto something. Especially
sold a keep as well.
Yes, and one of the druids. A blight wasn't sent after him. It wasn't it was one of the druids. You don't know how many druids there are in the circle. You don't know, but if it's more than a few, that's really bad, and they should be far more dangerous than what they are. Given the blights, given how they've been attacking the Mardikovs before this, they haven't risked coming out into the open, which makes you think their numbers might not be huge. The druids. They sent a druid after this kid with quite a lot of blights, and they weren't expecting you here. They weren't they were just trying to track him down, or maybe hoping he'd go to other Mardikovs and they'd be able to capture other Mardikovs. You think Styx might be kind of onto something here, and the fact that he said they needed a lot of blood of shapeshifters, diluted were-raven blood, but he was very excited with the prospect of your blood. A full-blown druid who could transform into multiple creatures. There's a distinct feeling in your mind. This obviously isn't magic that you've used or practiced or fully understand, but given what you know about the Circle of Decay, given what you know about natural magic, if this is a blood sacrifice, the weaker the shapeshifting power, the more of it they're going to need. And they put a lot of effort into tracking down this kid, who they might not even necessarily know for sure is a shapeshifter himself, just that he has the blood of shapeshifters in him.
Okay. I think Styx might actually be onto something. I think we could at least spare the time to do the ceremony and see if we can repair the abbot and give us a better chance of protecting the abbey in our absence. I don't think the ritual will start now. Usually this would be a blood sacrifice. Feels like a nighttime thing, doesn't it? No.
But also, they've been this way for so long, this curse, that they wouldn't just use half of them.
No, they wouldn't rush
They
into
want
this.
all of them. They need all of their blood because they need to make it sure it's absolute. So I think Styx. I agree with you, actually. Yes.
Adrian.
Adrian looks up and rushes over to your side, Killian. You having formed a bit of a bond with him when you were at the Wizard of Wines earlier.
Your relative that lives in Kresk, the one who owns the tavern. I can do that now with two hands.
Yeah.
Is he of the same persuasion as your family?
Yes, he is.
Did you go to him when you came into the Kresk?
Yes, absolutely. I went straight to him, quickly passed on the message. He then transformed into raven form and flew off, and that's how I got up the mountainside so quickly. I transformed as well. He's flown off to find other Martikovs to get the family together, to warn them.
I thought you went there and lured them to him, but that he should be safe then. Okay.
It was only brief. I knew I was being chased, and he said that if I could get to the Abbey, I should hopefully be safe, given that you were up here. That's how I knew where you were. I was trying to find him, and then he told me that you were here, and so I...
And to be clear, the Druids, when they came, they were capturing your family. They were not killing them?
They hadn't taken any of them. When I left, we'd formed a bit of a barricade. I couldn't find one of my sisters. I couldn't find my sister, but we'd formed a barricade, and my father had told me to find you, to warn the other Martikovs and to find you. But at that point, we'd held down. Like we'd been able to keep them off, and they hadn't breached the defenses.
Okay.
How many of your family are around, or in this land?
The Martikovs? There's a few of us, and also like honorary members, other keepers, maybe 30, 40 who can transform.
That leads me to a concern that I have. They said that they need the blood of a shapeshifter. Yours is diluted, yes, but you're not the only shapeshifters in this land. There are werewolves here as well. We know this. We were told of a werewolf den nearby. We don't know how many of this diluted blood that they need. It could just be that Adrian was the last that they needed, but that does not mean that they cannot grab someone else and take them and drain them. So
why now? They have had so much time. Why now?
It's a really good question.
Because us. We've moved so many different things into motion that this is the time to make plays. We're actually making an impact. We're setting things in motion, and look, as much as this has been a very good learning conversation, time is of the essence. I do agree with Killian there. So if we're going to do this with the Abbey, we need to do this now.
Well,
quickly.
Alternate plan. Why don't I take Jonor, Styx, Jonor and Styx with me? We can make a start down to the Wizards of Wine and see if they are safe. You do the ritual, and
I'll be honest.
meet us there.
I actually need Jonor. I think he's really had a good impact with the abbot.
Then I can take Tithla and Styx, and we can go see at least if any Martikovs are safe or injured as the Wizards of Wines, and you can meet us there once the ritual is done, or we can go scope out Yester Hill and meet you back at the winery, and we can regroup there. At least that way, if there's anyone injured as the Wizards of Wines, we can get them out.
Regardless of if people are dead at the winery, there may be many more clues we could find and not waste time by doing both.
Yeah, so we will not rush into combat with the Druids. I don't think that would be wise, but I think we could at least do reconnaissance and make sure that no one else is injured at the winery.
How far is it from here to there?
So you've made the journey, right? So you guys know exactly how long it is.
And I understand that we did this journey mere hours ago.
No, days ago.
I think it takes
a day
a
or
few
two
hours.
ago. It's going to take you
5-6 hour run, yeah.
Exactly right. It's going to take you about 5 or 6 hours to get there from here.
Yeah.
So 1 hour delay behind us isn't too bad. Like,
It's actually not
I
the end
was
of the world. Yeah.
Gonna say, does it buy us anything? Like the whole trip's still 5 hours. Does 1 hour buy us?
I mean, 1 hour of bleeding out is enough to save someone, I think, and we can then go to recon. You and me do recon into the Yester Hill itself. Get back, regroup at the winery, have a real plan.
If you could get down the mountain a lot quicker, remember you're at the top of a mountain. If you could get down the mountain a lot quicker, that would speed up quite a bit of time too.
Styx transforms into a bobsled. Could work.
I can transform on a mountain. Yeah,
Special Gloomforged feature.
Be a transformer.
No, we can mountain go down. Even if it's just you and I that go.
What about making? There's this thing that we I don't know if you have it in your land, but we have these. We are able to make these things called gliders that a lot of people jump off high places from and float for a while using the air current. I don't know if you have that in your land, but that potentially could be something we could fashion here while the ceremony is being cast, so that we're not wasting time, and then that way we can just fly down the mountain.
Well, the abbot flies down one by one. Don't go along the ridge. He just plucks us down.
We need the abbot to stay here to be in the ceremony.
Theo, you know that the abbot can cast Featherfall because he cast it on you and Irina for the flight back. That was only hours ago. So Theo would know this. You know that he can cast Featherfall.
Well, he could cast Featherfall on us three. We could jump off the mountain, meet you, get there quickly, and then you can do the same after you've tried to heal him.
What's the biggest thing that you can... Sorry.
What's the biggest thing you could turn into?
Probably the Beyondling. Or
anything with wings, potentially, would you be able to carry?
Unfortunately, I cannot turn into anything with wings at this point.
One more level, unfortunately.
One more level, and I can do wings. Or I can go mountain goat, and I can run us down the side.
Jacob's not quite big enough for me to ride him yet.
No.
Again, I think it's one more level, right, Jacob?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. So, because Tithla did take a level in Ranger, but that got her another favored enemy, which, given the context, she went undead.
Yeah, that's fair.
How does that sound for a plan? I'll ask the abbot to cast Featherfall on myself, Tithla, and Styx. We jump off the mountain, save an hour or two on the travel time, get back to the Wizards of Wines, see if anyone is injured and needs assistance. If we heal them and get them back up to here. Otherwise, we'll go on to Yester Hill, do some reconnaissance, meet you back at the Wizards of Wine as soon as you're done with the ritual.
So that is, I think I agree with most of it, but all of us should go to Yester Hill, even if to do reconnaissance, because if you fall into their hands...
Fair enough. Okay, we will not go on to Yester Hill.
At least Yester Hill. Remember, this is reconnaissance only.
I had a brief moment of DM glee when Haz is like, yeah, I'll go to Yester Hill just by myself. I was like,
okay, well, so we'll at least go make sure none of the Martakovs are injured and need assistance.
And maybe meet some of the other ones if they're headed there, and we can make a plan together.
Okay.
Give us one of those whistles, hey Luther. We're calling out. Give us one of those whistles that we're initially using to track down Ricavio, and
you gave that whistle. You gave that whistle away. The signal whistle. You gave it to Esmeralda.
Let me see how many I have left.
I thought he had 4 for some reason.
He might have more than one. You definitely gave one of them to
2
Esmeralda.
left.
He's got 2 left. Perfect. There you go.
I did have 4.
There you go.
So one with Esmeralda, one with Rictavio,
One with
and I
Rictavio.
have 2 left. So I will give one to, definitely giving it to Theo, because he's like the worst person right now to be kidnapped.
Fair enough.
Also, Styx doesn't have lung capacity.
Or lungs.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
He does have teeth, though. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, then...
Alright, so
I'll take one off. If you're okay coming with me?
Of course.
Then, Styx?
All right.
Would you like to come?
I will go where I am told.
before
Styx, you can
we go
listen
do
to
that real quick.
Oh, you're on.
Sorry. Just Jonor.
Yeah. What's going on, Tithla?
I haven't forgotten. We can talk about it another time. But you owe me an explanation. You said I don't want to know what happened during my surgery.
Oh, yeah. Depends how squeamish you are.
We can talk about it another time. We're in a hurry.
Sure. Yep. No worries.
All right.
Nothing to be concerned about. But yeah, we will.
Uh-huh.
I head on over then to the abbot.
You can see the abbot is currently trying to coordinate the mongrel folk. While this has all been going on, while you've been off in a little secluded corner of the abbey, having your discussion, talking through your plans, the abbot has been working away trying to essentially wrangle the mongrel folk back into a semblance of control, getting them to take off the weapons and armor, getting them to get the slightly more insane mongrel folk back into safety, into the cages again, doing his best to kind of control them. And as he turns around at your approach, he nods. That was a very good fight. Very good indeed. You did well. The barricade held. We were able to keep out most of these creatures, despite the ones that climbed the walls. That was nicely done.
I'm afraid that we have business to be about. We need to be down at the bottom of the mountain quite instantly. Could I perhaps request that you cast your feather falling on myself, Tithla, and the robot for us to get down? We need to go make sure people down at the winery are safe.
Yeah, of course. If these druids are indeed from Yester Hill, then we need to do what we can to end this blight. I was expecting something else, different type of retribution, but no, we can do this. We will need to be sure that the spell activates properly. I can imbue an item. I can imbue an item, a holy relic, with this power that when you need it, it will activate on its own when you reach a certain velocity. Is that what you are hoping for?
Yes, that would be perfect.
I can do this twice. I can have 2 objects imbued with in such a manner, with holy energy.
And is the object enough for one person, or can several?
Up to 6. It will, as long as they have within range of the object, up to 6 creatures.
Well, then we'll take one, and we'll leave one here for the others when they follow behind.
Sorry, up to 5. Up to 5 creatures. I told a small lie. Up to 5 creatures.
Well, we give up on the whole plan then.
Yeah.
three is very acceptable. While we are gone, please make sure you protect the abbey, the mongrel folk, and Irina and the injured here. That has to be our priority.
So
before anything else.
You are leaving. How long? Like, what if you do not return? I know we have a bargain, but how long shall I be waiting if you do not come back?
It should be no more than, at most, a couple of days. Hopefully, it'll be sorted by the end of tomorrow.
But what if there is an attack from Sergei or from Strahd during this time while you are gone? What if you're not here when you are needed?
We have a whistling system. Right now, I have a signal whistle, and my friend Luther has a signal whistle. If I'm in trouble, I will blow. If he is in trouble, he will blow, and we will know to return. If they have to leave, they will give that whistle to you, and you can blow if there is trouble. But do what you can if there is an attack. These druids cannot be ignored any longer. They are clearly willing to attack us, and now that they know we are here, I think they'll come back in force if we do not go to stop them anyway. And I don't think we could hold more than them off without the mongrel folk being massacred.
We will have to hope then that your involvement with the druids draws the attention of unfriendly eyes away from the abbey.
I will endeavor so, and we'll be back as soon as we can. We've not forgotten what we discussed, so please hold true to our bargain until we can get back and fully discuss this.
You watch as a hand slowly reaches up to his bald head, scratches backwards along the skin. Yeah, I will, begins looking around again, somewhat distracted as if hearing voices.
Alright, the featherfall tokens?
What?
you promised you'd do the Featherfall relic?
Oh, yeah. I will need,
begins like patting down his robes and pulls out 2 coins emblazoned with the symbol of the sun. And as he holds them in both hands, I'm going to roll a d100 for this to see if he's actually successful.
I guess we'll find out. We've fallen off the mountain.
Cool. You watch as his hands glow with an orange-yellow light.
Sorry, DM, you forgot to tell us whether it's successful.
I didn't forget. You watch as his hands glow with an orange-yellow light, and then he holds out his hands with the 2 coins in position.
Okay, I grab one, throw one to Jonor or Luther, whoever I see go past, or Killian. Use this to get down the mountain when you are to follow. Killian, try and be healthy by the time you get there. Tithla, Styx, let's jump off a mountain.
Yeah.
All right.
Yahoo! Styx, Tithla, and Theo, as you rush the edge of the precipice and throw yourselves off, you begin falling faster and faster and faster. And right when you think these coins should have been kicking in, this token should have activated, you continue to accelerate quicker and quicker. A moment later, your descent suddenly slows.
Thank you.
And as you get within 200 feet of the ground, your descent slows so that you land perfectly on your feet. Nice controlled descent at the bottom of the mountain. Back at the top, Jonor, Killian, and Luther. We're going to actually jump to you guys for the end of the session tonight. Luther and Jonor, as the abbot begins like gouging those deep furrows in his skin again across his bald head. You watch as the flesh begins to immediately reseal and fix it, but you can see his eyes looking distracted as he looks down at his hands, and then tries to summon that glow of light again. Yeah, what?
I sense turmoil in you.
I tried to reach for more magic, but it was hard to reach again. I feel... I do not know. Surely what we are doing is in Lysander's favor once again.
When's the last time that you actually was able to reconnect with our god, Lysander?
I felt her blessing the other night when we had our new plan, when we felt the light of the warmth of the sun and that the magic that flowed through me.
Flow through me. You saw it. You've strayed, Father.
He watches his hand slowly falls and his head slumps, shoulders bowed.
But it's not so bad. We can help you. We can help you bring you back to the light.
I have failed in every task. Lysander,
you have not
give
failed.
Me, I am
you have not failed.
Nothing.
Just strayed, and you need to come back to the path. Let me help.
I grab a bullet out of one of your revolvers, Luther.
Yep.
One that's got a particularly bright light to it. I grab this one and I take it over to the abbot and present it to him to provoke a response out of there, like seeing something that is just recently embedded with Lysander's power.
I am not worthy to hold this blessed item. I am gone from Our Lady's favor.
Maybe you are not worthy now, but you can get there again.
How?
I believe in you.
Tell me how. How can I get there? This land of shadow. How may the Lady of Light shine upon me once again?
Well, kneel with me and pray.
Make me a persuasion check with advantage, please, Luther.
I'm going to say something. Guide our steps back to your radiant embrace. In your light, I find solace and strength anew. Illuminate my path that I may walk in your grace once more, Lysander, light of all. So now I'm going to make... So what is it? Persuasion? Advantage?
Persuasion with advantage, please.
I'm going to cast guidance on myself real quick as well.
That's fair.
Just it makes sense too as we're going.
And that prayer is you seeking guidance from Lysander. I think that makes perfect sense that you would get guidance
So
on that.
15
plus a d4.
And let's do a d4. 1, so 16 overall.
16.
Not bad considering I'm -1.
The abbot nods, collapses to his knees, bows his head, and holds his arms aloft as if reaching for the sun, but keeping his head bowed underneath its light.
Okay, with that, as I finish the prayer, almost like this golden like circle or like a sigil almost like erupts, not erupts, but slowly starts to sort of form around both of us as I cast the ceremony spell. So the hour ritual. Actually, can I cast it immediately? I don't need to do the ritual, do I?
Casting time is 1 hour, so even if you were to do it, it's always a ritual. Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's always a ritual. No problem.
It's always a ritual. Yeah, so it's an evocation ritual rather than a spell, and the casting time is 1 hour, unfortunately.
That's fine. But I actually take his hands in mine, and I close my eyes, and I'm just saying that prayer over and over again. And I'm having him slowly start to say it with me, hopefully.
Yeah, he joins in immediately joining in, but in Celestial.
I speak with him in Celestial as well then.
Jonor.
As they both start speaking in Celestial, I'm doing my best to join in as well. Like, I don't know the hymns, like I don't know the ins and outs, and I start to pick them up. But I'm trying to shape the words so they go the way that I want them to.
So you're, rather than kind of like joining the ritual, you're almost kind of focusing on the divine magic element, channeling the weave in this divine energy, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I'd say I want to like massage the words. So as one word isn't said exactly right, I try and massage it, change the length or the tone or something so that it really hits the spot.
Yeah, the resonance with the weave. Okay, shit, nice.
Yeah.
Killian, what would you be doing while this is going on? I think you also speak Celestial, don't you? My memory
I do
serves me
not.
correctly. No, that's okay.
Do you get it from your new
Warlock
patron?
Celestial?
I don't know, actually.
I'm not
I
sure if
don't
you do
know.
actually. That's okay. That's all right. But you are now a favored warlock to the celestial being of Lysander. I'm guessing if you wanted to join in the ritual, you absolutely can.
I think I can see that these two have got it handled.
Yeah, fair enough.
What I'm not comfortable with is the fact that Adrian is seriously hurt. So
Yes.
while they're doing this, I'm going to guide Adrian into the infirmary and sit him on the bed that Tithla was in, next to the I keep forgetting their bloody names.
Wachters.
The other two. The Wachters, there we go. Put them next to them, and I think Irina's in here as well.
Yeah,
So-
Irina's in here having watched the battle outside.
Adrian, I'm sorry for everything that's happened to you, and as I'm guiding him in, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on him at first level.
Brilliant.
Just to heal him a little bit, and I'm going to sit him on the bed.
Kill him a little bit. Give him a little bit of health.
Heal him for 8.
Oh, nice.
Not bad. We're going to come back to you and Adrian because I think there's a longer conversation potentially there, and I really want to have us wrap up on the abbots, on the ceremony. I want to finish on the cliffhanger of the result of this spell. Jonor and Luther, as you continue this magic, Luther, could you please make me an insight check?
Okay. Jonor, are you doing anything with this? Or
Are you portenting this, Jonor?
Yeah, I'll give it a portent.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alright, so it's 13 plus 5, 18.
And you may add your bless to this as well.
Sorry, does he have to call the portent before or after?
He has to call it before
That's
the roll,
why we're
I
doing it
believe.
now.
Yeah.
So I haven't rolled it yet.
Jonor cannot, but Jonor, I believe, like I know we're kind of playing around with a couple of different things, but Jonor, if you also wanted to use your inspiration, you could burn it up to basically make the bless. I think it would be fair to say If you wanted to make this bless maximum, you could burn up your inspiration to guarantee a 4 on this bless. I think would be fair enough.
100%.
That is a fair use of an inspiration. I think it's a fair use of an inspiration to burn it for a maximum on the bless if you wanted
Especially
to.
because Jonor
He's
basically
like channeling the magic. Like it makes so much sense that Jonor kind of helps weave this divine magic around.
Well, that's actually such a good way to put it. The weave he put on is now that's okay. That's
So
cool.
I'm really happy with that. I think thematically that makes a lot of sense. In which case there is no rolling required because the portent is 13 plus what's your insight? Plus 5. Plus
5.
4.
22.
We're above 20. 22. You watch as the magic begins to swirl around. This light, at first emanating around Luther, almost like he's lit from within, slowly begins to fill the square, the whole area of the Abbey with this soft sunlight. For the first time in hundreds, maybe even thousands of years, above the center of the Abbey, a rift begins to carve its way through the clouds. As Jonor begins to channel the energy that's being formed, weaving it around Luther and the abbot, guiding it, enhancing it, empowering it with his own celestial energy, warm sunlight begins to fill. The stained glass windows, darkened and unseen, burn with holy light. Color fills the Abbey, inside and out. In the infirmary, Killian, you watch as all at once all of the windows, these beautiful stained glass windows, shrouded and hard to make out, suddenly burst to life with golden energy as you feel warm sunlight burning its way through, filling you with hope and power. Killian, you watch as some of your wounds begin to knit together, the golden celestial energy empowering your Warlock patron and you by extension. Outside, the abbot begins to glow, his pale skin burning away into this golden, almost burnished brass, his eyes liquid silver, as 2 enormous wings burst from his back, followed by 2 more, 4 angelic white wings filling the space. What would you like to change his alignment to? I believe you get to, it's restore, isn't it? The target.
Chaotic evil.
His alignment has changed. On a successful check, you restore the target to its original alignment.
I hope he was already sitting at his original, and this was
It'd be so funny if he was chaotic evil. That's his original.
He's a bad guy. It's just the magic holding him in check.
As the abbot's... What was that? Sorry, Jonor?
Should it be whatever the god is?
That's exactly right. A Deva has the same alignment as their god. As the abbot's connection to Lysander is restored, fully and completely, the ceremony ends. The angelic wings of the abbot slowly fade back as he takes on his human form again. But not the bald, gangly, almost sickly-looking priest. Instead, a younger man. Golden hair, not too dissimilar from Jonor's. Silver eyes. And a broad smile.
My mind is so clear. I feel Lysander. I feel this. The light once more. You have... What have you done?
So, I told you that you strayed from the path, but you were always able to get back to it. You just needed that little help. You were in the darkness, languishing.
It's like I have been living in some sort of fog, or a mist has been across my mind. No, I have done awful things. I was going to give this woman to a monster. No, that is not Lysander's way.
It is not. And I'm happy that you're back.
I am back. And we are going to take the fight to these creatures of the night. The lights will burn once more in Barovia.
We're going to cleanse this darkness. Save these people. Save this land. They've been languishing in this darkness for too long.
That was
They
my
need
holy mission.
A light to guide them.
Yes. That is exactly what we shall do. You and your companions shall be the new disciples of Lysander, and we shall bring holy light to this land once more. That is where we're going to end for tonight's session.
Damn.
And I want a crusade, right? Go on crusade, this is how you get a crusade.
That
Oh,
was
Crusade Brothers.
very, very interesting. Redeeming the Abbot. How many people have gone through a Curse of Strahd campaign and tried to redeem the Abbot? If you have had this happen in your campaign, tell me how it went.
This is
Holy
Tom's
shit.
brainchild. Kudos to Tom. He brought in
Very
very
cool.
Not just the King of Catan, the King of Ceremony as well. Really, really nicely done.
I love
So
the.
different to what we did to the poor Abbot last time we played this.
Yeah, we did it.
This really changes things. There's a lot that's going to be different. Nicely done, you two.
I love the chat comment. I was imagining a biblically accurate abbot.
I gave a hint to it with the 4 wings, and I was like, how far do I take this? And then I was like, a ball of eyeballs surrounded by rings of spinning energy. Then I was
you
like,
weren't
no,
in
that's
such
good.
a role. I was going to make the gag, but you were just in such a good place with the script. Like, no, good.
I almost made the gag too, where I was like, you watch as the abbot's form crushes into a single point, eyes opening in the space around him, first 1, then 2, then 8, then 20, spinning in halos of light. And then I was like, nah, that's too far. It's a bit weird.
Fucking amazing job though. That's
Really nicely done, lads. That's gonna be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to the fallout from that. That's
Man, I like it just when you started describing him and like I'm just sitting there like, oh my god, we got an amazing ally now. Like
the abbot returned to lawful good, reignite his passion and his connection to Lysander once again reignited. Basically, he's still not 100% sane. This hasn't cured his insanity per se, but this has definitely made a huge difference. There's going to be a long conversation between the abbot and you guys. There's a lot to unpack here. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff here.
I have a lot of time.
No, I know. That's true. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody, for a incredible session. I'm going to have to do some behind-the-scenes stuff before our next one, because this significantly changes things. This is almost the beginning of a third faction in Barovia, in a way.
I didn't expect that type of impact. That is amazing.
It is. Basically, you've got the 2 dark powers of Sergei and Strahd, and now you've just introduced the Abbot as a third power once again. This is really, and you guys as well with the Abbot. There's going to be a lot. I'm looking forward to this.
Not the interruption Strahd was looking for, I would say.
No.
Man, actually, what I said was right. Like, there's so much we've really sort of unsettled things a lot. Like, we've moved a lot of things into motion that haven't happened before, and well, this is one of those big ones.
This is big. You guys have this big.
Beginning of the session, real trough. End of the session, real peak.
It was a roller coaster. It was all uphill. And then next session we get to enjoy the drop again, right? Like, no.
Lucky your god still loves you after putting burning marbles on a dude.
I rolled a D100 to see how Lysander felt about that. Lysander there was no connection during that period of time. I rolled to see like how much of that connection was still up during that period, because I was like, Lysander was not okay with that. So the person who saw you do that, when you did that pray, I'm happy to share this behind the scenes thing, when you were doing the prayer before, there's not a guarantee that it gets through to Lysander. Every time you've made a prayer, every time you tried to connect with your god, I'm rolling a dice to see who it goes to. That one went to... God. No. Not some rando god.
Strahd in deception, not on the prayer highway.
Wow.
There was somebody else.
Everything that comes in and out, isn't it?
There was somebody else who saw that happen.
That's interesting. That is rude.
Madam Ava.
I think you'll find it was Blinsky who was.
I mean, he is a god.
Steve TM.
Steve TM.
Well, he's
I hear and answer all my
one.
prayers. I guarantee. Steve TM guarantee. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. That is all for our Curse of Strahd tonight, because I have got to do a little bit of background work before we can have our next session. So thank you, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the session. If you're watching on YouTube, remember that subscribe button must be hit so that we can refill the Roll20 bank of natural 20s. If it's not hit, there's no natural 20s for the team to access, and there's only natural ones. So you've got to hit that. Got to hit the subscribe button.
Which we are short because last session we had about 18 nat ones in a row.
Yeah. So you need the only way to top up the nat 20 bank is to hit the subscribe button.
I think there's one other way.
That is the
leave a
like
review.
and comment button as well. Yeah, and you can leave a review of the podcast as well. That's exactly right. Turns out there's loads of ways to refill the nat 20 bank. But for all of us here tonight, thank you so much. Stay safe, stay well, and we will see you all again so soon. Until then, farewell, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.